Welcome. Every single day, whether you realize it or not, you're in a fight. It's not happening on some far-off battlefield, no. It's a battle for your peace, for your joy, for your future. And the whole thing, where your life is won or lost, it all takes place on a battlefield that's only about 6 inches wide. That's right, it's the space between your ears. So today, we're going to break down the strategy to win that battle in your mind.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to survey the battlefield itself, get a real sense of what we're up against. Then, we'll look at how these negative strongholds actually get built in our brains from a scientific standpoint. After that, we'll uncover the power we all have to tear them down. And then we get to the good stuff, the practical steps to actually rewire your brain. And finally, how all of this leads to forging a brand new identity.
All right, let's just jump right in and face the reality of this internal war. From the moment you wake up, there's this constant, relentless clash of thoughts happening in your mind. Hope versus despair, confidence versus doubt. It's a non-stop, moment-by-moment struggle. And the sheer volume of this conflict is, well, it's pretty staggering when you see the numbers.
Take a look at this, 75%. According to researchers, for the average person, that's the percentage of our daily thoughts that are negative. Now let's put that in perspective because it's a huge number. The average person has over 60,000 thoughts a day. That means for a lot of us, 45,000 times every single day, our minds are defaulting to things like criticism, worry, and fear. And you know what the worst part is? It's often the same negative thoughts playing on a loop, just wearing a deeper and deeper groove into our minds.
So this all leads to a really important question, and I want you to be honest with yourself here. Given that statistic, who's actually winning the battle in your mind on a daily basis? Who has the upper hand? Is it that voice of hope and truth? Or is it the voice of doubt and fear? Just acknowledging where you're at with no judgment, that's the critical first step to turning the tide.
But how does this even happen? Why is our default setting so often negative? This isn't about being a negative person or having weak willpower. It's actually about brain science. There are real, physical reasons this happens. So let's pull back the curtain and look at how these negative patterns are literally built neuron by neuron inside our heads.
It all starts with something called a neural pathway. Okay, so think of it like this. Every single time you have a thought, any thought, it's like you're creating a tiny connection in your brain. Imagine walking through a field of tall grass for the very first time. You barely leave a trail, right? But if you walk that exact same path over and over and over again, that little trail starts to become a very clear, very worn down path.
And this is the perfect picture of how a stronghold gets built. It starts with just one thought, I'm not good enough. That's like a single brick. It's easy to ignore. But then you think it again, and again, and again. Those repetitive thoughts are like stacking more bricks, building a wall. That process is what carves out the neural pathway, turning that faint trail into a worn-out dirt path. And after thousands of repetitions, that path becomes a paved 6-lane superhighway in your brain. And here's the kicker. Once that superhighway is built, your brain, which is designed to be super efficient, will always take the easiest route. It's just less work. So thinking that negative thought becomes automatic. It's effortless. You've fallen into what you could call a neurological rut. It's not even a choice anymore. It's your brain's default program, just running on autopilot.
Now, I know, all that science might sound a bit bleak, almost like we're just hardwired to fail. But this is where the story takes a really powerful, really hopeful turn. Because the same brain that built those highways of negativity has the God-given power to demolish them. You are not a prisoner of your mind. You have the ability to tear down those strongholds.
It's amazing how ancient wisdom often lines up with modern science. The Apostle Paul wrote this almost 2,000 years ago, and it's a perfect description of what we now call neuroplasticity. He says we have the power to demolish these things. And how do we do it? By taking every thought captive. See, that's not passive. It's an active, intentional command. You spot the thought, you grab it, and you hold it up against the truth.
So let's be crystal clear about what we're fighting here. A mental stronghold isn't just a bad mood. It's a fortified structure. It's a deeply ingrained, repetitive pattern of thinking, a lie that has positioned itself in direct opposition to the truth about who you really are and what you're capable of.
So if the stronghold is a fortress built out of lies, what's our wrecking ball? It's so simple, but it is profoundly powerful. It's the truth. You can't defeat a lie by arguing with it or just trying to ignore it.
The only way to defeat it is to expose it to a bigger, more powerful truth. You don't fight darkness, you just turn on the light. Okay, so this is where the rubber meets the road. We've identified the problem, we know our weapon is truth, so let's put on the hard hats. How do we actually start the construction project of rewiring our own brains? How do we pave new highways of truth where those old highways of lies used to be?
Well, the first step is you have to identify the old highways you've been stuck on. You have to become aware of your own thinking. Do any of these sound familiar to you? That nagging thought, I'm just not good enough. Or maybe the idea that I'm a victim of my circumstances. For some, it's a stronghold of unforgiveness, or just this deep feeling of unworthiness or shame. These are some of the most common superhighways that keep people trapped.
Okay, let's make this real for a second. Right now, I want you to identify one of those negative highways in your own mind. Just name it. What's the one lie that you are ready to demolish starting today? Take a moment, and if you feel brave enough, share it in the comments. Just writing it down is a huge first step. And you might be really encouraged to see how many other people are fighting the exact same battle you are.
And here it is. This is the heart of the entire strategy. The rewiring process starts with one choice, repeated over and over. The moment that automatic negative thought pops into your head, and believe me, it will, you have to learn to catch it, stop it, and intentionally, consciously replace it with a thought that is rooted in truth. Every single time you do that, you are physically carving a new pathway in your brain. You're starting to build a brand new road.
In this process, this conscious choice, when you repeat it over days and weeks and months, it does something absolutely incredible. It actually goes beyond just changing your thoughts. It fundamentally begins to forge a new identity. You start moving from being stuck in those old neurological ruts of lies to being grounded in deep, unshakable trenches of truth. I mean, just look at this comparison. This is the transformation in action. The old highway says, I am a victim. The new one declares, I am a victor. The old lie whispers, I'm not good enough. The new truth thunders, I am God's masterpiece. You see, this isn't just positive thinking. This is an identity swap. You are literally trading in a broken, limited idea of yourself for a powerful, true one. This is what it means to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Let's just park on that one truth for a moment. Instead of that exhausting, endless loop of, I'm not good enough, what if you consciously chose to put this on repeat? The God of the universe created me as his masterpiece. Now, I know it might feel weird or even untrue at first, but think it, meditate on it, say it out loud. This statement is the raw material, the concrete and steel you need for your new superhighway. And this is the end goal. This is where it's all headed. At first, declaring a new truth might feel a little awkward. It's something you know is true logically in your head, but you don't really feel it in your heart yet. But that is where repetition comes in. The more you declare it, the more you think it, the more you carve out that new trench of truth, until one day it becomes just as automatic, just as deeply felt as the old lie once was. It moves from your head to your heart, and it becomes who you are.
So, we end with this final empowering question. We've seen how these strongholds are built with lies and repetition, but we've also learned they can be demolished and replaced with truth and repetition. The power is truly in your hands. So the only question left is, what new truth will you choose to put on repeat? Starting right now, today.
If you were inspired with this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Be Thankful. Feel free to share this video as well. Thank you, and God bless.